You guys are gonna think I'm crazy, but I've literally been thinking about trying to do some chainsaw carving. Hey, it's Brock here with Rock Hill Farms, and I'm out here today at the Paul Bunyan show in Cambridge, Ohio. This is a show I've been trying to get to for 3 or 4 years now. Really excited to finally be here. Kid at Christmas doesn't really do it justice. So I'm pretty pumped. We're gonna walk around the show, show you anything I think's interesting. Should be a good day. All right, so one of the first things I saw that really grabbed my attention is a bundling machine. We all know that you can get a lot more money for your firewood if you bundle it. So this gentleman here is gonna tell us a little bit about his product. I really enjoy finding people who are starting small businesses with these kinds of products instead of buying from a bigger company. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself and what you got here?
Yeah, so my name's Mike. I own a company called GCR Company. We manufacture this wood bundler, the WB120. We brought it to market 3.5 years ago and been pretty successful so far.
Okay, so what's a machine like this gonna cost me?
So ballpark's around $3,000.
Awesome. And you make these yourself?
Yep, make them myself in my home shop.
Love it. Making them himself. Small business, that's what it's all about.
So you pull the wrap around. Counter counts and then you stop. It stops on its own. Now you got to bundle the firewood.
Well, that seems pretty quick. I wonder how long it would take you to bundle up like a cord of firewood.
So a cord, I don't know for sure. My wife bundles for me and she does 60 to 80 an hour work.
That's not bad. Well, hey, thanks for taking the time to show it to me.
Thank you.
Tell you what, I really like that wedge design. That seems like that wedge is going to work for any size of rounds because it drags it back.
You can fit all the way up to the pullback arm. You can just rock back and forth, shearing off one layer at a time.
Where are you guys out of?
Central New York. Here in the U.S., we make all the stuff ourselves, including our own cylinders, our own machine out, our own gen valves. Frame itself we make. Almost everything comes in is either tube steel or flat stock. We got burn tables, cut saws, and we got weld department and all that, paint department, everything like that. We bring steel in one side of the building and send a splitter out the other side.
And what's this model? The Alpha 6?
This is the Alpha 6, sir.
Is this maybe one of the biggest splitters you have, or?
Close. We have one that's bigger. That's the TW10, which takes has up to an 8-foot diameter and 12-foot long log and puts it into 4 pieces.
So do you have like maybe one of your smallest splitters that's closer to a homeowner type unit? That's the one over there that's got the manual log lift on it?
Manual log lift and the hydraulic lift. Those are both the TW2.
You know approximately what a unit like that costs?
Starts out at about $3,000 and then each add-on gets a little more expensive.
All right. Hey, thanks for taking the time to show it to me.
My pleasure, sir.
You know, a lot of the people who watch my videos, we're not professional firewood guys. So we're looking for something a little more budget. This is the same company, Timberwolf, but it's got a manual log lift on it that's still a lot better than picking them up by hand. Just spent some time in there talking to the people from Ripsaw, and they were so busy that I didn't even try to wrangle someone in front of the camera, but it's a pretty cool deal that they take the saws you're familiar with and turn them into hot rods. It's a full service, just make the machines run faster and hotter. That thing looks pretty radical, but I just asked them, they said I need something a little bit bigger to run it. We attended the show on Sunday, And on Monday, I'm going to record a video using my brand new log splitter. And I'm dying to tell you guys what I went with, but I guess you can wait one more day. You guys are gonna think I'm crazy, but I've literally been thinking about trying to do some chainsaw carving. I mean, we got to lose, you ruined a piece of wood. These guys are pros, let's check it out. So what this guy's carving at the moment is one of those bears that I just walked by. And I believe the guy to his left is carving the pumpkins, like the one that you see on my porch here. I wasn't planning to buy anything at this show, but we did spend just a little bit of money.
A lot of people kick their saws because they wouldn't start. I'm actually able to kick this one sometimes and it will start.
All right, I just watched an amazing demonstration on these antique two-man chainsaws, and I'm gonna let the man himself tell us just a little bit about them.
Hi, I'm Larry. We're part of House of Saws. We've got several saws that we bring out to the Steam and Antique Engine shows and the Paul Bunyan show as a historical and educational display. We've got 3 two-man saws here. The first one's a 1947 Mall Model H. It's 12 cubic inches, has a scratcher chain on it, makes a shaving instead of a chip. The next one is a Mall Model 11. It's only 8 cubic inches. It's from about 1950. It's got a standard chipper chain on it with a manual oiler only that I don't oil while we're cutting. The next one is a Model Piston DA211, 180 cc's, has a 5-foot bar on it with 9/16 chain on it, and it makes chips, big chips. It's our favorite saw to run. It's actually an outboard engine that Mr. Kiekhofer, who was the president of Mercury Corporation, modified to be air-cooled so they could use it in a chainsaw situation. Internal parts interchanged with a outboard engine, and it sounds like an outboard engine when it's running.
So I love the antique equipment, and I'm always glad to see someone keeping it alive so this doesn't die and be forgotten about.
That's what we're doing, trying to preserve some history. Unfortunately, it's kind of gotten away from me. My wife's an enabler. We have 7,000 saws at home.
Yeah.
This is just the tip of the iceberg, but history is what we're trying to preserve.
Well, I appreciate you taking time to tell me about it.
No problem.
That last saw, I believe he said, was an 091, and it would have been 130 cc. Now, the next one, after the one you see right now, is the real big dog here. It's the outboard motor he was talking about that is 180 cc. Now, they mentioned they're not trying to show off here. To really show the torque of this big saw, you'd run it through some bigger wood. They're just giving us a piece of history today. All right, so we're inside one of the buildings and looking at a product called True Track, and I've got the owner here who's going to tell us a little bit about the products they make and what they're for.
Hey guys, my name is Jacob Rhodes, Levi Howell Tools and True Track. We have basically a large area planing tool called a router sled. We call it the router gantry system. And then we also manufacture a universal track saw system. So if you want to convert your handheld circular saw into a track guided tool, we have the adapter plates. We can do anything from a 6.5 all the way up to a 10.25 inch saw. But the main product we've got here at Paul Bunyan is our router gantry system. And that's for doing the slabs, live edge lumber, epoxy glue ups, butcher block, any of that kind of stuff.
So it looks like this table's really wide. You can do like a 4-foot material on this. And what's a unit like this going to run?
Okay, so this unit here is a 48 by 96, and that is capacity. So the actual dimensions are going to be 57 by 112. It takes up to 25 different routers. If you have one that's not on the standard pre-drilled plate, then we have a base plate you can pre-drill yourself. But this unit here, as it sits, is $1,200 with the dust collection shroud. If you don't want the dust collection shroud, you want to make your own, you knock $200 off. So this is a $1,000 unit. One of the things that does make it unique in the industry is that we do have a threaded rod that runs inside the extrusion. And so you can actually control the position of your router across the width of the unit with a hand crank. And what that gives you is the ability to step over a known amount, make a consistent pass every time you make a pass, and then actually cut with the grain of the lumber. So most of the router sleds that you've probably seen out there, it looks like a rowboat, right? You're going back and forth, you move over, you go back and forth, and no one's got 4-foot long arms. And so you do half-inch slabs all the way down, and you go to the other side, you finish it out, and you always end up with step marks or sawtooth patterns. By going with the grain of the lumber, you get a much nicer surface finish, and you get probably about 80% less finish sanding. So it makes a huge difference.
Well, fantastic. And if someone's watching this and they want to get one of these, where would be the best place to find you guys?
Okay. Our website's always available. It's truetrack.com or truetracksaw.com. Either one, you end up at the same place. It's available. We can ship anywhere in the United States. The entire product is pretty much made here in Ohio. The rails are a custom-made extrusion for us. They come out of Cincinnati. And then all the other components for the router plate, the slides, the end caps, we machine those in-house, and we're located in Manchester, Ohio.
Fantastic. Well, I appreciate you taking time to show it to me.
I appreciate you stopping by.
And of course, we've got the big machines, and I can't even try to guess what a piece of equipment like this costs. A brute force firewood processor. Run the whole thing from this operator station here. Hopefully, if we stick around a little while, they'll fire some of these up. These are the Lucas swing blade mills that allow you to make dimensional lumber without ever turning the log. You can see they've made their horizontal cut here and another horizontal cut down there and then a vertical cut. Really a lot of versatility for anything you want to cut.
Everyone's doing this custom. It's like no one's going to do it.
What are you looking at on price-wise on a unit like this one?
This is the biggest one they make, and it's $20,000. And they can cut a maximum 10 by 10 beam, 20 foot long out of the box.
It's already impressive that you can cut on two planes like that, but being able to cut in reverse is a game changer.
Yeah, it
All
really.
the Lucas mills, do they all cut in reverse like that?
They are. They call them swing blades, and that's one of the big advantages to it, and it allows for such a high production rate that really sets it apart from the bandsaw competition.
Phenomenal. You probably have a little bit more wood loss in the kerf.
Yes and no. You definitely have more sawdust, but if you look at the type of sawdust we make, you can actually use it for animal bedding, chicken coops, or landfill, whereas the bandsaw sawdust is that really fine powder, which really is only good for compost.
Plus, it's just so much more efficient. Probably nobody's crying about it.
Yeah, and another thing too, like with the bandsaw, you're going to quarter your log, like take off each side of each, so you have a lot of waste there. With the Lucas mill, you can actually turn that into lumber as well. So you do make up for a little bit of your board footage loss there, or your kerf loss.
Fantastic. What's the horsepower on that engine?
30 horse, like I said, 10-inch cut, so that's why they call it the 1030. 10-inch cut, 30 horsepower engine.
If I had the option, I would trade my machine for this one any day of the week. I think my skid steer, which is John Deere 325G, for those who don't know, maybe a little bit cheaper than the same horsepower in a JCB, but man, I would love to have that side door. Not even, I mean, the extendable boom is a killer feature, but even factoring that out, I love that side entry door. And I didn't get it when I bought mine. They've got the Halversons out here. I love the Halverson machines, but I actually featured those in a video 2 days ago, so we won't go into it again. But pretty sweet skid steer mount firewood processor. Now we're into my stuff here. Skid steer, brush cutters, and a little Massey Ferguson subcompact. Cute little guy. And we've got a New Holland. I wonder if this guy's actually made by LS or not. Workmaster 255. Now this is I believe this is the exact same Wallenstein processor I showed in yesterday's video. They had it with the big hoist. Skid steer mount splitter. All right, we've got tractor mount, 3-point mount skidding winches, a smaller version of that trailer we showed yesterday, tow behind chippers, Wolf Ridge conveyor. If you follow the channel, you know I've got the Wolf Ridge skid steer mount splitter. I just had a great conversation with the owner of American Conveyors and Log Splitters. My good friend Andrew Kelly just got one of these machines. I believe it's called the Animal. He just got one of these machines from them, and he's put out a couple videos on it. So if you want to learn about these machines right here, they're pretty sweet American-made log splitter, and you can see them on the Kelly's Country Life. So I've only ran into about 3 people that recognize me so far, but this guy is a regular viewer, watches all the videos. That ain't going nowhere shirt. I love it.
Great to see you again, Brock. In a few years.
It's been a fun show, and it's fun to run into someone and have a conversation that actually watches the videos, so pretty cool. I've got to apologize for the next 2 clips because I made a rookie mistake as a guy who's made 1,100 videos. And recorded this interview with the mic turned around backward and tons of background noise. So here's what it sounds like.
And we work together a lot. My kids work with us.
So you really can't hear much of this interview at all. So the best I can do is give a shout out to this YouTube channel that is called Hardworking Man. It is a husband and wife or a family channel. They do homesteading, but they focus a lot on firewood and equipment. I also did an interview with Andrew from Easton Made, and you can't hear a darn thing either. Here's the best audio clip from that. Go to Easton Made on YouTube.
Yeah, check out the Easton Made Wood Splitter channel. Give her a thumbs up and subscribe if you're out there, and I'll keep putting out wood splitter content for you.
Split fire is kind of unique in the industry because they've got the 2-way wedge, so it splits going forward and it splits going backward. Wow, look at that monster. I can't even imagine the size of tree that can handle. I don't know what that says about me, but maybe when I was young, but there's just no way I would climb like that. Every bit of the stuff you see right now is done with chainsaw carving. The talent these guys have is just amazing. All right, this one is Turbo Sawmill Off-Road Milling. Built onto a trailer, and it's a swing blade. This thing right here is no joke. Remote control driven, tracked forestry mulcher. Insane. Here we've got some premium stump grinders from Bandit. You know, I love the tractor mount stump grinders, and they're great for what they are, but they're never going to compete with a dedicated machine like this. That is speed and efficiency. I ran a Yappa 360 that was a PTO driven unit when I went to visit Hometown Acres, and that was a pretty sweet machine, and this would just be the big brother. All right, I wish we could have been here for more than one day and really taken in everything, but it was tough to get here with our travel situation. But I tell you what, the show did not disappoint. It was just phenomenal seeing all this equipment. I appreciate you guys taking time to watch. I'll put links on the screen to a couple more of our videos, and I'll see you next time.